Hey, good afternoon. I'm sorry I just ran in and fussing with this little baby over here because she thinks she knows stuff and I be trying to tell her. She don't be knowing stuff. I know everything. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. I appreciate everybody coming and checking us out. As always, you say hello to me. I say hello to you, and then we just keep rolling. So let's get it going. Let's get it started. Jerica Vaughn. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Like you say boss. A boss. Say Vaughn. Jerica, good afternoon. She's first. Anthony Prosser in the house. He puts up number 2, meaning he's second, and he really is this time. Karen Dye Williams. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Oh, I didn't. Good afternoon, Jerica. Good afternoon, Anthony. And good afternoon, Karen Dye Williams. Karen's representing Westwood. Got Lewis in the house. Lewis Talbert says good afternoon. He is fourth. And DeAndre Crosby rounding out the top 5. Good afternoon to the top 5. Thank you guys for being there, saying hello to me, because it makes me feel good. Crystal Hoskins. Good afternoon, Crystal. Got Erica Hummins representing Reading. Good afternoon, Erica. David Herron in the house. Good afternoon, David. Good afternoon, Maria Smith out there representing North College Hill. Good afternoon. Did I already say DeAndre rounded out the top 5, right? But DeAndre.
Is the water still coming out of the wall?
No, there's no. It's not raining or anything. Let's see. LaDonna, good afternoon. Good afternoon, LaDonna. Naiwusi Simba. Good afternoon, Black Lion. Good afternoon. David, somebody reminded me, little baby, we never did a countdown. We have to do a countdown for the spring. So, that's your responsibility. But you are the one who be wanting to do the countdown.
But you need to.
So you're saying you're not going to do the countdown?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm saying that it's your responsibility.
No, it's your responsibility.
No,
I gave it to you. It's your responsibility. That's the end of the conversation.
No,
Yeah.
No, you're the loser.
Yeah.
You're the one who can't talk.
Crystal Hoskins representing the Christ Hospital. We got Brenda Early representing Fairfield. Good afternoon, Brenda. Good afternoon, Dwayne Larkin out there in Mount Airy. Good afternoon, Andrea Bustle representing downtown. Good afternoon, Terry Coleman representing E-Town. All right. Good afternoon, Regina Denson Griffin, all the way from Silverton. All right. David says, nice shirt. Well, thank you. I made this one. I didn't actually make this one. I'm playing. Good afternoon, Terry Anderson representing downtown. Steban Speed, good afternoon, representing Queensgate. Sierra Brooks, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You're going to break that phone. That was a pretty long drop. Valerie Davis, Grand Day Powerful Royal People, representing the Hills. That could be any number of, we got, 7 hills around here. It could literally be 7 hills. We got to be a little clearer about that. But good afternoon. Daryl Carpenter, say what up. He's representing his skin. That don't count. We all represent our skin, but where is your skin located? Let's see. Yeah, she being sassy today.
No, you are.
I might have to choke the little sassiness out of her.
No, I'm gonna choke the meanness.
Pamela Kenny, representing North Avondale. Good afternoon. Let's see. Alethea, one of the killer bees in the house. Good afternoon, Alethea. Look like a Lincoln Ware hand me down. Why you a hater? Why you a hater? It does not. Casey Brown, representing Pine Bluff, Arkansas. All right, good afternoon. Am I going to call Lincoln's show tomorrow, wish him a happy birthday? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I do wish him a happy birthday, but I don't call his show anymore. He asked me to, or I won't say, I hope that he has a happy birthday. Because again, I got nothing against the man. Well, I have something against him, but nothing serious, you know. So yeah, I hope he has a happy birthday. All right, so let's see. Let's get started. I really don't have much to talk about. I hadn't intended on bringing this back up, but of course I heard the end of Wyatt's show, Wyatt Live. And let me say this first, because they were talking about the whole child support issue. And I'm not going to go too into it, and I'm not going to stay into it very long, okay? I'm not going to go too deep, and I'm not going to be in it for long. So it's going to be a quickie. I agree that there are a lot of men who don't do what they're supposed to do. No doubt about it. I understand that there are, of course, there's a difference between child support and that whole system and the custody system and all of that kind of stuff. I get all of that. He had a young lady on, Miss Calloway, I'm going to call her, because I don't know her personally, you know. And she seemed like a lovely lady and, you know, informative and all of that good stuff. I think she slightly misrepresented some stuff, not intentionally. I think she's talking about the way things are supposed to work, not the way things actually work. Because what some people don't understand is that down there, those caseworkers have a little bit of latitude. They have a little bit of latitude. Personal story. I knew a person who worked for Hamilton County, and they worked they were a caseworker in the child support arena. And they had friends, of course, who were caseworkers in that same child support arena. And I had a friend. Now this, you know, I'm a little confused about how I should tell the story because I don't want to like it to be twists and turns, but it's some slight twists and turns. I had a friend who was paying child support in the system. And this friend got a nice settlement, like an insurance settlement from an accident that had happened years ago. So he got a settlement, but he had, while paying that child support, and the child support he was paying, he had a child with a black woman. He had another child with a white woman who he was living with. And so he wasn't paying no child support for that. And somehow, this caseworker, who had no idea that I was this guy's friend, it was really just coincidence. This caseworker, they were sitting around the table at my house talking. She was having a get together. And this particular caseworker said, yeah. And talking about my friend. She didn't say his name, but I know who she was talking about. And he paying that little bit of child support for the baby he had with that black woman. But he taking care of that baby he had with that white bee. Oh, trust me. We gonna look into that and we gonna make a child support adjustment. And I'm sitting there because I don't want to, you know, kind of tip my hand like I know this brother, you know, why you going for him or why you going at him. You know, I'm kind of walking by and I heard this and I said, well, how do you know that he got some extra money? Oh, we got ways of finding stuff out. We know when people get money. Okay. And I said, oh, well, did the black girl like petition y'all, you know, basically saying he got some new income and she want to, you know, upgrade in her child support? And she was like, no, but We know he got money, so I'm gonna initiate the whatever it was, audit, or I don't know if she used the term audit. So the idea that, oh, it's just so fair down here and we just do what the paperwork says and we just this and we just that. They have latitude. They can do things when they want to do things. Some things. I don't think they can do just anything, but they can do some things just on their own. And some of them down there are bitter, vindictive women. And to be, because I think Donnie Williams commented on one of my comments on Wyatt's show, and he was asking, do you think it would make a difference if it was a male or a female? I do think it would make a difference, but I'll be honest, in my entire works with the child support system, I only encountered one male. One male. That guy happened to be, I don't know all the titles and stuff, but he was the dude that was over Hamilton County Jobs and Family Services. And I said some stuff that made him mad. And that next day, I got a call from Hamilton County Jobs and Family Services talking about they are auditing my account, and based on their audit of my account, they are putting a lien on my car and they gonna move to suspend my driver's license. Now, mind you, I never missed a child support payment. Remember, I was telling y'all I had paid my child support, but then, she went and got a year's worth of back child support after I had been paying child support for about a year. And so they looked into it and they was like, oh, he has an arrearage. So now we can put a lien on his car and suspend his driver's license. But that didn't happen until I met the dude who was the head of the Hamilton County Jobs and Family Services. We had a heated disagreement on air. And the next day, I get a call telling me that they're initiating, I'm calling it an audit. I don't remember exactly what they called it. They have latitude. That didn't come from her. That didn't come from some judge or magistrate. That came because I made the head of Jobs and Family Services look stupid on air because he was saying stuff that was just not true. And so I bust his ass out on air. And he got mad and went back. And I remember him asking Lincoln Ware, what's that guy's name again? Okay, thank you. Before he left. And I just thought, he want to remember the person who, lit his ass up. But when I got that call that next day, I was like, oh, that's why he wanted my name. Because the conversation, of course, was about child support, and I was explaining the issues that I had with the things that they were doing. So I'm just telling y'all, that system ain't necessarily right down there. They're not always wrong. But, the idea that they're just honorable and doing, what it is that they do. And, it's just a system. And so that's just the way the system works. They have latitude. And the other thing that I'll tell you, because I'll be telling all my business. The other thing that I'll tell you is, Shannon says Michael Patton. I don't remember the dude name. He was a white dude, a heavyset white dude. I don't remember his name. But the other thing I'll tell you is they don't treat women on child support the same way that they treat men on child support. Because I don't know that I share this part of the story very much, but eventually I got custody of my child. And I was receiving child support. And when stuff went wrong, I remember calling the child support. And one of the caseworkers actually said this to me. As a man, do you really need child support anyway? What? Yeah. They're people. That's really all I'm saying. They are people. And they have their biases and conceptions and all of that stuff going in. And when they open that file or whatever, they know, they see what they see, and they've already judged. They made a judgment. I remember Wyatt asked the young lady, I can't remember exactly what it was, something about child support. They were talking about, and she won't let me see my kid or whatever. And her first response was, but when I hear that is, well, what are you doing to make her not want to let you see the kid? So it's got to be him, right? But that's a lot of them, that's their first mindset. And when you're dealing with a system that's, it's mostly women down there based on what I saw. And, some of them been through it. Some of them have been mistreated. It's not, I understand what Wyatt is saying. They treat everybody the same is kind of what he's saying. And so they have all of these bad guys who don't want to pay child support and find ways around child support and don't want to see their child. And so they treat everybody like that. You can't treat everybody like the worst person that you come in contact with. Hold on a second. Something happened here.
Yeah.
I'm not off. Just something happened. Don't be a hater.
I don't want to do the show.
You're not doing the show. You were supposed to be over there silent, like a church mouse.
No.
Sorry, y'all. Something happened
You were the loser.
to my computer over here, and I can't see things. So it's making me log into stuff. I don't think I went off the air with you guys, but it took away a lot of the stuff that I was actually seeing.
You lost that activate.
But I don't think I ever went away from you guys, but I got what I needed to have back. So yeah, it's just the whole system is just a little messed up. You can't treat everybody like the worst person that you're gonna come in contact with. And I think a lot of times that's what they do. So I just really want to say that I think that the Miss Calloway was probably sharing some things from her perspective, maybe the way things are supposed to go, but they have discretion. They can do things on their own, and they do. And when you got some bitter chick that's got your case, she treating you like you her baby daddy who ain't paying his child support and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's I mean you but again, the bottom line from what I was saying yesterday is, fellas, if you out there, ladies, if you out there and you going through the system, don't give up, because it is your responsibility and it's your child. So don't let the system scare you out of being responsible for your child, being in your child's life and all of that good stuff. Dee Dee Williams says, my aunt's perspective, there should be no child support. A good man or woman will take care of their child, whether they are with you or not. If they don't, you take responsibility for the consequences of the person you chose to have a baby with. I don't know if I agree with that. But that's about it. That's about it for that. I don't really have much else to say about that. I don't really have much else to say about that. If anybody wanted to have any discussion on that, 513-717-KING, 513-717-5464. Is it just me, or do the brat with that? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that, Jack. I'm not familiar with them at all. T Mikey G says, good afternoon. What's the topic today? Well, so far I've only talked about child support just a little bit, and I'm done with it. I'm done. I don't have any other, revelations or anything that I want to share. Oh no, there was one other thing that I want to share. I thought, and I had to say yesterday, I missed a whole lot of comments. Yesterday. But I thought I glanced over and saw somebody saying something of the nature of, I shouldn't be sharing my story because how do I know that people involved aren't listening? And I'll say this about me and my story. Everybody involved with my story, they were involved with my story. So they know. Like my child will be 30 in a couple months. Of course, this happened when she was little, but sadly, she was dragged into a lot of this stuff. I think she was actually brought into court to witness some of these things happen. So there's no secret about anything. She knows the good, the bad, and the ugly. I wish she would have never known the good, bad, and the ugly, but she knows the good, bad, and ugly. So these are not stories that she didn't live. I told y'all, hold on, CK. I told y'all the way that I got the upper hand in the whole thing was there was a hearing, and my child was brought to the hearing. But for whatever reason, the judge or magistrate thought that I brought her to the hearing and lit into me like it wasn't no tomorrow, how inappropriate it was, and that's not gonna make me look good, and it's a shame, and it shows bad parenting, and blah blah blah. About 5 minutes, I promise you, about 5 minutes, she was turning red and everything. She was mad as hell. I didn't say anything. I just let her go on and go on and go on, and when she was finished reading me all of that kind of stuff, like a child, I raised my hand and I said, I didn't bring her to court. Her mother did. And the look up, well, we're going to move. I said, hold on. Don't she get the same speech that I just got? Because when you thought it was me, I was the worst parent ever. And I was inappropriate. And I was this and I was that. I was horrible. Now it's her. Shouldn't she get the same speech? She didn't give her the speech, but I won every motion that I filed after that. So, yeah, sadly, my child had to experience it, and she was, so hearing about me, her hearing me talk about it, she already know. So, for the person who was curious about why I would be willing to say all of this stuff, she already know. And hold on, Twin says this shirt is tight. This shirt is so not tight. There is so much room in this shirt, man. Why you a hater? Why you worried about my shirt? You want to see my titties? I'm not showing you. These are mine, bro. They don't. What's wrong with you? Ain't no transveta over here. Okay. CK.
Hey, thank you for taking my call, Mr. Emanuel Livingston, King of Talk Afternoon Experiment. I'm freaking excited today on Thirsty Thursday, sir.
All right. What's on your mind?
I like how the soliloquy you went on when you said, you know how to come back to the caller. See, Wyatt forgets that you're on hold. Did you notice that, Livingston?
We got different. I think it's because we have different systems. The system that I'm using, when you call, you right there. You're very prominent. And plus, I because of the way my system is set up, I hear your background noise while I'm talking. His system is slightly different, and so it's easier for him to, get caught up in what he's saying because he don't see you right there in his face.
Yeah, you said prominent. I like that word, prominent. I will bring that into my vocabulary more.
All right.
And I like the soliloquy you went on about your situation with your child, with your daughter, 30 years old. But see, this is something you went through personally, sir. So your knowledge on things you went through is quite fascinating, based compared to those things you haven't been through.
Well, I tried to for a while. I had an email. I don't actually remember that email, but I had an email that people would email me, and I would, because I ain't no lawyer,
Thiscoffeeisamazing.com.
What?
That was the email. Thiscoffeeisamazing.com.
No, I'm saying I would give out an email address. I think it was something like child support help at gmail.com or something like that. But I don't remember. That wasn't it. But I don't remember what it was. And people would email me, and I would try to help walk them through the system. I would always suggest that they get an attorney, but I would try to help walk them through the system, because a lot of people do have a lot of misconceptions about the system and the way it works. Well, I think the main misconception that I ran into, not the only one, but the main misconception, people really did believe I'm paying child support. That means I have visitation rights and she won't let me see my baby. And I used to tell them all the time, like, no, you pay child support, but that does not mean that you have visitation rights. Those are totally different processes. So,
yeah, two operations.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're great. That's why I was telling you got to speak on the stuff you went through. That's why when I give you the gang knowledge, the drug knowledge, the alcohol, this stuff I've been through. See what I mean? That's why I was giving you the game, so you can give us on the game that you went through. See, this is a personal vendetta. This is why Livingston is so passionate about the subject. But when he starts speaking on Crips and Bloods, CDs, and, MS-13, then he's a little out of his league. You know what I mean? Then you hear the legal jargon. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you're talking about. When do I speak on that stuff?
Yeah. Remember when I was giving you the game, and then when I gave you the knowledge, it's like, just imagine all the knowledge you was giving, and then I don't believe you. This is how you take that. Why wouldn't they believe something you went through with your 30-year-old?
But you don't have to believe me. Like,
why wouldn't we know? Use common sense. Why would he make it up?
But it's not even about, I'm just saying, some of the stuff you say, I don't believe it. It don't mean it's not true. Just because I don't believe it, don't strip it from, its factuality. It just means I don't know it to be fact. It sounds out of left field, and so I don't believe you. Don't ever let that bother you.
We need gray-haired fellas to unite against violence, sir. And if I'm telling you to join a gang, you have to commit murder, I'm giving you the knowledge, sir. I'm keeping youth out of the game, sir. Don't you understand what I'm trying to do, Livingston?
But if what you're saying is not true.
It is true. Hold on, sir. Do you not watch the news, sir?
I watch the news sometimes.
And do you not see gangbangers on the news for homicides? Do you not see the penitentiary filled with murderers with gang affiliations, Mr. Livingston?
I do see.
Do you?
I do see people who are gang affiliated, or who say they are, charged with murder from time to time. Yes.
So my point, Mr. Livingston, you don't have to become a medical MD doctor to know what it takes to become a medical MD doctor. You have
hold
to
on.
go
But let
to
me say
college.
this. Let
You
me
have to
say
go to
this.
medical school.
Here, I'm explaining to you why what you're saying may or may not be true. All right. So I say, for example, those people down at the courthouse dealing with custody and child support treat people unfair. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And somebody can come up and say, hold on, Mr. Livingston, Your Highness. I was down at child support and custody, and they treated me fairly. Now,
Because she was a woman.
No. It can be a man. I've had men say that to me. So, am I to say because that was my experience, that is everyone's experience? No. So, because the gang that you might have been trying to join said you got to murder somebody, that don't mean that's everybody's experience joining a gang.
Yes. Yes. But, you know, these rules was written down in 1968. The Crips was created in 68, so they have the foundation room to get in. They have them down. And when you read the foundational news, gangster disciples and all that, you see what it takes to get in. Homicidal murderers. And
I've never seen that.
Some women.
Now show me that, and then I'll believe that that's written. But until you show me that, I don't necessarily believe it.
Okay, all right. Now I got to ask you this. So when you see like a blood, what do you think they represent?
I don't understand the question. What do you mean? What do they represent?
They represent bloodshed. I'm gonna kill you. They look at I just want you to look at the numbers of homicides by Crips and Bloods, and you will understand what I'm saying. We're talking about 50,000 bodies. 50,000.
Let me accept your completely made up number. Okay. So
no, it's not made up. How was you gonna say made up? I'm giving you facts. Why would you do that to my fact?
You're not giving me facts. Where did you get that fact?
Oh my! Look it up. How many? Just put it in the internet, man.
No, hold on. What? Okay. What am I putting in the internet?
How many murders or how many black people are victims of Bloods and Crips? How many murder victims of the Bloods and Crips?
All right. And just so I'm clear, it is your assertion that in the history of the Bloods and the Crips, there have been somewhere between 40 and 50,000 murders. That's your assertion.
Of black people. We ain't even talking about them.
All right.
Mexicans.
So again, let me just be clear. I want to make sure that I understand the assertion that you're making. In the history of the Bloods and the Crips combined, your assertion is somewhere between 40,000 and 50,000 black people have been victims of murders by the members of those two gangs. That's what you're saying is a fact.
I say no, sir. I'm saying at least 40 to 50,000 murder victims.
Again,
to the bullets.
And to me, as soon as you say at least 40 to 50,000, that's clear that you're working off of no information.
No, because I'm giving you numbers that I studied from 10 years ago. I don't know what it's been jumped up to since my last
you giving me made up numbers. Where did you get those numbers?
Listen, so you're not a gang advocate.
What?
You're not a gang advocate.
I'm asking you, where did you get those numbers?
I research. All I'm saying, you look it up for yourself. You're gonna see that. So if I'm right, then what you gonna say?
No.
Damn,
all I'm asking you is, where did you get the numbers?
From the statistics, FBI statistics.
So those numbers. Google. So you believe that there's an FBI statistic that tracks the number of black homicides committed strictly by the Crips and the Bloods over their history as gangs?
Yeah, this is a gang situation, sir. We know the numbers. Have you seen Los Angeles? They murder the people by the pound. Crips and Bloods murdering each other.
Okay, so then,
You haven't seen
hold on.
it.
Now, just for the sake of argument, I'm going to accept your number, right? 40 to 50,000, right? That's what you're saying, right?
R.I.P.
Okay. How many, over the history of the Crips and the Bloods, how many gang members have they had?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Them FBI statistics,
no.
it should have been in there, right?
No, I ain't looked that number. I mean, that was a number. You're right. That's a good one. They got to look them up, though. But you need to look them up as we go.
Oh, well,
You
wait a
need to
minute.
stop
Hold on.
trying-
Let me ask you this. Would you say over the history of the Crips and the Bloods, there have been more than 50,000 people that they count among their ranks? Nationwide,
Yes.
worldwide, over the history of those two organizations?
Yeah. It looks like it's probably in the hundreds of thousands of
Okay,
members.
hundreds of thousands. So if in order to join the organization, you had to murder someone, wouldn't that make it hundreds of thousands of people that were murdered?
Right.
So where did the 40 or 50,000 number come from?
Right. No, you got to understand, sir. When you join a gang, some of them you just have to commit homicide. You just ride around with your lights off. The first person that blink them, you murder them. That's your entrance.
Right. So those
The
numbers would be
first person-
counted. There would be hundreds of
But they-
thousands of those cases, right?
No, but they wouldn't be gang. They wouldn't be gang members. They would just be regular homicide. You wouldn't know. That's what I'm trying to say. How could you count a number of an unsolved homicide, sir? You have to put those numbers in effect. We have unsolved, all
wait.
of them not counted for.
Okay,
We don't
so-
know
wait a
how a
minute.
lot of people die.
Hold on, just so I'm clear. So your 40 or 50,000 number are solved cases.
That's a great point. You breaking it down good. Now I wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. Why you're not going through it with? Why you gotta go? We gotta do this together.
Look, all I'm saying is this. There may be some sects, sects, I can't pronounce it right. Some sects, some gangs, some people who might do that. But you can't make that claim across the board, really, just because it's not true.
Yeah, I just want you to understand the purpose of a gang. It's a criminal organization, sir.
I agree. It's a criminal organization.
And when you see Nipsey Hussle, what he say? He said, I'm ready to die for this on rolling 60. What is you saying? You're looking, and then he was murdered by another rolling 60 member. How many? He's a famous example. Now, how many non-famous examples of that Nipsey Hussle you think they had in L.A.? Would you guesstimate?
I wouldn't, because I have no idea.
That's my point.
No. That's actually my point. So instead of fake guesstimating to get fake, what are you doing? Are you okay? What are you doing?
His affiliate? Oh, my bad. That's
No, not you. I'm talking.
babe.
She over there doing a whole lot of sniffling and stuff. You okay? Okay. So instead of guesstimating fake numbers, just say I don't know the numbers, but there's a lot of numbers.
Yeah. And I'm just giving you an example of this nigga got a good life ahead of him, but he want to affiliate himself with a known murderous organization. Nigga, they will kill you. And they did. Now your kids ain't got no more parent, no more daddy. Because you want to be a rolling 60. That's what I'm trying to tell you, sir. Why? You could have just been a rapper, entertainer, actor. No, you want to be a rolling 60. And the dude that killed you, the judge tried to be funny. They gave him 60 years. You want to be a rolling 60? Take this 60 ball. Isn't it ironic? Poetic, Livingston. Absolutely poetic. 60 years? How did you feel about the 60-year sentence for the murderer of Nipsey Hussle, Livingston?
I don't know many of the facts, so I guess I accept that it might be a fair sentence.
Was the judge trying to be funny a little bit?
Probably.
Hey, just imagine, Livingston. Just imagine yourself serving 60 years for killing Nipsey Hussle. That shit is not gonna be easy, but it's doable. It's better than where Nipsey at, right? You'd rather be the murderer of Nipsey than Nipsey himself.
I don't know.
I mean, hey, he's out it. And there's one more subject I need to broach you about.
Okay, hold on a second. Little baby, go upstairs, get some tissue, and blow your nose. All that sniffing is getting on my nerves. Go ahead. All right.
Yeah, much love to the platform, man. Hey, keep on blessing the airwaves. I'm gonna listen to you, man. Thank you for taking my call, man, and keep hope alive, like the great Jesse Jackson used to say in '88, man. Yes, sir.
CK, enjoy your weekend.
Hey, hell yeah. Hey, I get paid tomorrow, dog. I get paid tomorrow, dog.
All right, don't go to the casino.
I won't. I'm glad you told me that, boy. Hey, that's gonna stay with me. Thank you.
And no betting on the NBA playoffs.
No. I just got a casino dolphin.
Okay.
I'm a casino dolphin. Did you hear me on the hot mic earlier? I got caught on the hot mic, like Jesse Jackson.
No, I don't know what that means.
Man, he came to me while I was talking in the public, and then.
So you're talking about on Wyatt's show? Okay, yeah, I heard you. I didn't hear what you were saying. I was driving,
right.
But I didn't hear what you were saying. So.
That's the scariest shit ever when you going back and listen to see what kind of incriminating evidence you done said on his mother. I'm glad I ain't saying nothing too bad.
All right.
Yeah,
all right. Have a good one, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. That was CK. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure what we talked about. We talked about gang, kind of made up facts about gang life and all of that stuff. It's really kind of what we talked about. Yeah, made up facts about gang life. But I do agree with him. And Twin, I'm not sorry to say this. Young people shouldn't be joining gangs. Old people shouldn't be joining gangs. If you're in a gang, you should get out. If you out, you shouldn't be hyping gang life. And you should make sure you stay out. Now, I say that having never been in a gang. I mean, I guess, somebody could argue, bro, you don't know, gang life is the best. It don't seem that way. It don't seem that way. Let's see, what else? Twin said, yeah, whatever, Emanuel. Hold on, what did I say that's not true? Twin? What did I say that's not true? I don't think you can disagree with what I just said and at the same time pretend that you don't glorify gang life. I don't think that you can do both of those. And he said, don't join a gang. Yeah, right. Whatever. Either you glorify gang life or you don't. You can't have it both ways. But what else is going on? What else is going on out in these streets? I don't really know. I ain't been connected very much. I know all of these tariffs and all of that kind of stuff. It's driving the market crazy. And I don't know what's going to happen. Now, let me tell you this. A part of me agrees with the idea of the tariffs. And with some of the stuff that Trump is saying. Okay? What do you have? That's not tissue. Go upstairs. Ain't there some tissue up there on Mommy D's desk?
I think.
Yeah, then go get tissue. Don't get paper towels or napkins. Get some Kleenex or whatever brand tissue is up there. I'm sorry, what was I saying? I was saying I agree with some of y'all. I have to be clear. I think Trump is a horrible, horrible human being. Like, just in terms of a person, I think Donald Trump is a horrible person. Hold on. I'm going to go back to that. But I stand on that. He's a horrible person. Mary says, if a person don't know gang life, you can't speak on it for real. I don't know about that. I think you don't necessarily have to have been in a gang, lived the gang life, and even been personally affected by gangs to look at it and say, that's not something that you should wish for a child. Right? I don't think you don't have to experience everything to say that something ain't necessarily good or whatever. You don't. So I don't necessarily agree that if you ain't been in it, you can't speak on it. I don't necessarily agree with that. Mary says, true, if you don't know about the life, you really don't know. But again, just because you don't know, so I ain't never murdered nobody. But I don't have a problem telling people you shouldn't be murdering people. Well, if you ain't never murdered nobody, you can't talk about it. Wrong. I can suggest clearly, reasonably, and comfortably to people that's something you shouldn't be doing. I ain't never been a drug dealer. But I can suggest to young people, don't be out there selling drugs. Why? You ain't never been it. You ain't never did it. You ain't never lived it. Who are you to say? I'm a member of society. That's who I am to say to young people, don't do that. That's also a napkin. She don't have no tissues. Like, look for a box of tissues. They come out, they pop out one at a time. I don't agree with that mindset. Ken says I'm a studio gangster. I'm not a studio gangster. I don't agree with that mindset. There are certain things that you don't ever have to experience, that you can look at it and say to other people, don't get involved with that. Don't do that. That's not positive. Mary says, yes, you can suggest, but you still don't know. I'm just saying. It's true. I don't know. I don't know what it feel like to murder somebody. I don't know. But I would suggest to people, don't murder people. And you're right. I don't know. But that don't hold water to me. Alethea says, you have OCD with sniffing. Oh, y'all didn't hear her over there sniffing. I mean, she need to really just means she need to blow her nose and get something to, clean it out. It's not OCD. Now back to what I was saying about Trump. Because I'm sorry, Mary. I saw that, and I when people say that, it bothered me just a little bit. It don't bother me a lot. It don't bother me as much as people putting S's on the end of stuff. The S's shouldn't be there. But it does bother me a little bit. Just I don't totally agree with the mindset. So that's why I stopped to address it. All right, now back to Trump. Back to Trump. He's a horrible human being. He's a horrible human being. Like, he is a horrible human being. Clearly, we can tell. We don't need nothing. You can just listen to him, pay attention to him, look at his life. You can tell he's a horrible human being. But even a horrible human being be right about some stuff. Look, if we go as a nation. Oh, is she texting me? She's texting me. Texted back a little baby. Oh. All right. Sorry about that. Little baby upstairs texting me. If this country is going to get things back on track economically, in terms of, debt, deficit, all of that kind of stuff, we really are going to have to make some sacrifices. And as he said at some point, take our medicine. That's true. What's the debt? Last time I remember, it was like $37 trillion. But that might have been a while ago. What is the national debt today? Not day. Hold on. Around $36.2 trillion. You don't get $36.2 trillion out of debt without everyone having to make some sacrifices. Now, look, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I think the people at the top, and when I say top, I mean economically, I think they should bear the majority of the brunt of the medicine. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones who should they're the ones who cut all them tax cuts, all of that kind of stuff. You got to raise taxes and cut spending. This is just I'm no economist. I'm no economist. Okay? But it just sounds reasonable to me that you're going to have to raise taxes and cut spending. And when you do that, some people going to suffer. Maybe not suffer. Like multi-billionaire having to pay some more taxes. He's going to suffer just from the fact that he's not used to having to pay his fair share. But I do think it has to happen. I think it has to happen. I'm not saying that the way that Trump is going about anything is right. Brian disagrees with me. And let me tell y'all this. If you ever disagree with something that I say, please feel free to put it in the chat or call me. I ain't scared of you, I'm not scared of y'all. Brian says, not true. We have no medicine we need to take. Wealthy coffers need to take some medicine and be taxed with no loopholes. Again, I agree with that. But the truth of the matter is, when that happens, we gonna suffer in some way, shape, or form. Wealthy people who control industries and all that kind of stuff, if they're even personally making less money They're going to do things so that they make that up. So they're going to raise prices. They're going to, you know what I'm saying, hire less people or whatever. They're going to find a way to pass some of the hurt on to us. Brian says, the medicine we've taken has been taken out of our wages since we started working. Wealthy, unequally taxed, no tax break for the rich, period. And again, I agree with that. But there's still gonna be some suffering passed down. There just is. Vernon Jordan says the figure I keep hearing is 36 trillion. I just Googled it real quick and they're saying 36.22. So, yeah. That may or may not, you know what I'm saying? That may or may not. Maybe a couple trillion off. What's a couple trillion among friends? Nat says debt and deficits are a smokescreen. They could easily balance the books by not extending the Trump tax cuts and targeting waste, fraud, and abuse in the defense budget. I don't think they could easily do it by targeting waste, fraud, and abuse in the defense budget. I know this is going to sound crazy to y'all. I don't believe that there's as much waste, fraud, and abuse in the system as they want us to believe. I have no facts to sustain this. I'm just sharing my thoughts now. I don't believe that there's as much as they claim. I really do believe, how do I say it? Like, they have secret things that they do. And so some of that money that we think is just wasted or it's fraud or it's some sort of abuse, it's kind of just moved aside. You know, when they used to talk about they pay $100 for a hammer, they never paid no $100 for no hammer. They pay $2 for the hammer and they put 98 aside for, what's the word? I didn't know I had my thumb up, my bad. They put 98 aside for secret stuff. I can't think of the word, it begins with a C. But they put that aside for secret stuff. So I don't think it's as much waste, fraud, and abuse as they like to make us believe. Jerica says, I love how you don't try to silence your listeners. Look, I welcome all y'all. I'm not scared of y'all. I'm not scared of y'all. Every single one of y'all can get it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't agree with me, you can get it. Janice says, it makes sense. The more you make, the more taxes you should pay. Agreed. Mary says, how do we get so deep in debt? I don't really know. I don't know. I can't go through the head. I think some of it it's some overspending. I mean, in its most simplified form, we've been spending more money than, as a nation, than we bring in. And then if we say we bring in this much money, but we're spending this much money, but we're going to cut some taxes so that we bring in this much money, you got a larger deficit, and then you borrow money to, pay that deficit, and then you just keep, and you don't pay it. You don't pay, just like in your house. You ain't got the money when you use a credit card to pay a bill, and then you don't pay that credit card bill, and then the next month, you still ain't got the money, and you don't cut spending, and then you quit your third job. So you bringing in less money, you spending a whole lot more money than you was already bringing in. Now guess what? You might have to pay 2 bills on that credit card, and it's earning interest. And you still ain't paying it, and you just keep being able to do that. Because in this world, Visa never call, your bank never call you and say, hey, you at your limit. And if they do, they say, well, just raise the limit. And they say, okay. That don't happen nowhere. That don't happen nowhere. You ain't paid your bill. I mean, think about that. Your bank, your credit card, say, hey, you ain't paid your bill in ever. You're at your limit. And you tell them, well, I'm not going to pay y'all, but just raise the limit. And they like, okay. Okay, we'll just raise the limit. All right. You going to pay? No, but raise my limit. That don't happen nowhere. That don't happen nowhere. I know, I'm oversimplifying it, but that's the concept. That's the concept. Brian says, big waste in defense budget, unless you believe the U.S. is truly under threat. The world can be destroyed how many times over? Stop. But you still got to be spying and stuff. And that take money. That stuff take money. And, you know what I'm saying? They keep talking about all these forensic audits and all of that kind of stuff. But some of this stuff, again, I don't have any factual basis to back up any of this stuff. This is just thoughts and ideas out of my head. But if I watch TV. If I send a CIA agent to Russia to spy on Nikita and, become Nikita, by the way, as a man, thinking about Nikita Koloff, and become Nikita's side piece, that costs money. I can't put that in the books. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Here's a receipt. Terry is a spy sleeping with Nikita. All right, file that. I can't put that in the books. That's some off-book stuff. And we got spies and stuff all over the world. We paying people, informants. There are people who actually, there are some in our government too who are getting paid by foreign people to give them information. That ain't cheap. And then you can't put that in the books. So it come up as waste. It come up as you paid $100 for a hammer. It come up as, wow, it's a bloated defense budget. Where did this money go? I can't say Nikita getting the draws, but we getting information. I really believe that's where a lot of the so-called waste goes. And that is kind of national security because everybody's spying on everybody. I don't know no spies. I'll be watching TV and spy work don't look cheap. Like they be like, I need $250,000 for this. All right, with $20,000 for this information, $20,000. That stuff add up, and that's just the shows that I watch. I'm being a little silly, but I'm kind of also being serious. Like I'm pretty sure it don't happen the way that it looks in the spy movies. But I know that they out there spying on people. I watched the one show where they cracked the secret code that the Nazis were exchanging between each other. I don't remember the name of the movie. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff to go through. A lot of people to pay. A lot of equipment. A lot of spies all around the place. A lot of information to gather. And you're like, well, but we got the means to destroy the world how many times over? We don't want to destroy the world however many times over. But we do still need to keep getting information. What new defense stuff do they have? Okay, we got nuclear weapons. We can destroy the world however many times over. But do they have a version of Star Wars? Not the movie, but you remember when Reagan was touting Star Wars, they were going to put a satellite in the sky that could shoot down atomic bombs as they, so that would negate your atomic or your nuclear weapons. We just shoot them down before they get there. We need to know if somebody developing that. And I don't think developing that ain't cheap. So I'm not, everybody, oh, they spend too much on defense and blah, blah, blah. Man, look, if you can develop a way that if Russia, I'm oversimplifying everything. If you can develop a way that if Russia sends some nuclear bombs to New York, there's a satellite in the sky that can just shoot it out the air over Russia. Oh, nuclear weapon is coming our way. Kaboom. No more nuclear weapon. How much is that worth? They spent $3 trillion on that. But you can't put that stuff in the budget. So all I'm saying that is to say, I understand that there's going to be some off-book spending. I understand that. Daryl says they are not going to raise your limit if you're not paying on your bill. The United States keep getting their limit raised, raising our limit. We're not paying the bill. Brian says, bro, spying costs less than jets and missiles. I do have the facts. Budgets do not work the same as it does in a personal household. They want us to think of it in those terms. Debt is used as a commodity and a buffer on a macro level. Federal and state budgets also hide line items. And he says, okay, they cracked the codes of the Nazis, but they also abstained from the bulk of World War II and let the Holocaust happen and closed the doors to Jews. The U.S. entered after most of the carnage to make those rebuilding contracts. Facts. Oh, I believe that. I believe economics plays a part in it, a large part in it, yeah. But again, I don't know that is all waste. And, all of that, we need to find waste and all that kind of stuff. They know where that money going. They know where the money going. It's not all, we got 12 too many workers in this department. You're not trillions of dollars in debt because you got an extra 12 people working in the Department of Education. Mary says the Da Vinci Code. No, it wasn't the Da Vinci Code. It was a relatively recent movie about them cracking those Nazi codes. I don't remember the name of the movie. It was actually a decent movie. Walter says, why is it we spend all this money on the military and we still get our aid kicked by third world countries? Like who? Who kicking our A? Ken says, I don't have a problem with the United States spending money on weapons to defend its borders. Yeah, I kind of don't either. It's a part of it. But again, whatever you got to do, I really think a lot of this gets solved if you just tax fairly. Multi-billion-dollar corporations, billionaires, and all of that kind of stuff. I think, and again, I don't have the numbers. Brian, you can help me. You say you got the numbers. I don't have the numbers. But I would imagine if you charged all of these multi-billion-dollar corporations taxes at, a reasonable rate, take out all those loopholes and all of that kind of stuff, then you could do something. You could make a dent. Walter says, Vietnam, Iraq. When did Iraq kick our butts? And I'm not even sure Vietnam kicked our butts. Like, what was the... But I wasn't alive through most of Vietnam. But when I look back at the different stuff that I see, I'm using an analogy here. You go in somebody's house. There's a lot of people in their house. They know the layout of their house. You can do some damage. They know where to hide. They know where to hit back. They didn't kick our butts. They just kind of defended themselves to the best of their ability. Of course, if we wanted to, if it was that, they could have dropped a nuclear bomb and, did whatever. So I don't necessarily agree that these other third world countries is kicking our butts. They're not. But you have to think about, what is the objective? Is the objective, I want to wipe everybody out? Because a lot of countries, a lot of people are like, hey, we not bowing down to y'all. Y'all gonna have to wipe us all out to say y'all won. Because as long as there's somebody left, we gonna fight back. I don't look at that as getting our butt kicked. Plus, we fighting in their house. Back home, we chilling. We chilling. That's a win right there. In and of itself, that's a win. Walter says, with all the military equipment we have, we should have wiped them out. They beat us in guerrilla warfare. Again, so you think that was the goal, was to kill everybody in Vietnam? I don't think that was ever the goal. To kill everybody that is, a Viet Cong or that sympathizes with them. I don't think that was the goal. So I think you're looking at getting beat as one way or the other. If I come up in your house, Walter, me and my friends come up and y'all fight back, but we totally destroy your house, and at the end of the day, we all get to go home to our nice houses unscathed, and then come back to your house the next day and whoop some more ass. Y'all get some licks in, but we tearing your stuff up. Like, at the end of every day, your house is effed up. You got some licks in. At the end of every day, we go home and chill, have dinner with our wives and families, and buy new cars and all that kind of stuff. Next day we come back to your house, you get some licks in. Are you really whooping our butt? But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the tariffs. I'm okay with reciprocal tariffs. Like, if you... Again, the way that they're doing it don't necessarily make sense. But if you charge, I don't know, a 25% tariff on our products, and we're going to charge a 25% tariff on your products. I heard Ron saying, oh, well, the UK, I think he was saying, Europe, they won't accept our beef. It's not they not accepting our beef just because, they don't want to trade with us. They have standards. And some of this stuff is getting lost in rhetoric. Well, we can't send no cars over there. It's not true. They don't buy as many American cars over there. So I believe I was reading that there is an actual trade deficit. But a trade deficit is not a tariff. Don't be confused with those two. And they are trying to confuse you with those two. Like, oh, they sell our cars over here and they don't buy our cars over there. So we're going to put a tariff on their cars. I guess that's one way to deal with it. But you be mad at them because they don't buy our cars. Maybe we should buy less of their cars. And no, they don't want the beef that America sends over there because they have standards, and their standards say certain growth hormones and antibiotics they don't allow. So if you want to send some beef over there, you can't use that stuff. So we don't want American beef. Well, they don't want American beef because it's got hormones and all these different antibiotics and stuff in it. It's not some, we hate America, so we don't want their beef. It's, we got different standards. It's the same reason why, a pop over there, I'm Cincinnati, we call it pop. A orange pop over there, Fanta. A Fanta orange pop over there ain't the same thing as a Fanta orange pop over here. Because they got standards. Like it's certain food colors you can't put in it over there. You just can't do it. You want to sweeten it? Use some sugar. You can't use no high fructose corn syrup. Which, I don't know a whole lot about chemistry, but high fructose corn syrup is delicious. It might be killing me, but it's delicious. So guess what Fanta does? They make a version of the orange pop for there. They make a different version of the orange pop for us. They don't care. Go ahead, kill them. Go ahead, put some high fructose corn syrup in it. It's cheaper, and they abide because they said it's delicious. All right, well, what about over there? Yeah, no, they don't want the high fructose corn syrup. What are you doing? Don't go that way. Don't go that way. Go around because you're going to knock my thing down. What you need? Oh. All right. So yeah, we gonna call it. It's Fanta over there. It's orange Fanta. Like it's got actual orange juice in it. You know what I'm saying? They gotta color it with natural colors. So I think they put like orange in it for the color instead of red number 666. Because that red 6666 is the devil. So yeah. It's a different way that they do it. So that's why they not accepting American beef. They don't want to trade with us. Not if you're trying to send them what they regard as poison. So that's a part of why there's certain things that, but I don't know. I don't know. I think the way Trump is doing everything is crazy. Yeah, the markets is all messed up. And I keep hearing people bother me sometimes. And look, I'm the first person to admit I don't know everything. I get stuff wrong. I'm not an economist or a stock trader or, any of that kind of stuff. So I get it. I don't know everything. But the people why y'all worried about what Trump doing? This is how they sound to me. Why y'all worried about what Trump doing? Y'all should be out here buying these stocks while they low. I'm making a killing. You ain't making no damn killing. You bought $200 worth of stocks. Even if that stuff go up, you ain't making no killing. Stop it. You ain't spent no couple $1 million on stocks. This, you gonna, oh, I'm going to be set after this. Stop. And why do people think people can't do both? What make you think I can't say Trump is messing this economy up? But while he messing it up, I could be buying some stocks. I don't want the economy to fall apart. I don't want us to go into a recession or a depression. So he really is doing some bad stuff, but the stock market is down. And I know some of this stuff is going to rebound eventually. So let me do a long play here and spend some money. Buy up some stocks and, maybe make a little bit of money out the deal. What makes you think we can't do both? Daryl say, right, they bought one share of a stock thinking they doing something. Man, that was I saw a brother on there talking about he making a killing. Bro, you forget we can go to your site and look and see. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? No money. You bought like 3 shares of Nike. 2 shares of... You didn't buy no 2 shares of Apple. It's still a little too expensive for you. Probably Nike too. You spent $723 in stock, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. But you ain't about to become no millionaire off of that. You just want to put people down. I don't like that. Go on, do what you do, but stop putting people down. Like we can't do multiple things at the same time. Right. They spending the $25 they got on Cash App. Hey, look, I got some Bitcoin. In Cash App. I think I looked at it. I think I got, in dollar value, like $4 worth of Bitcoin. I don't even have a whole Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? I got some shares of somebody's share of Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? How much do I have in Bitcoin? On Cash App. Where's Cash App? Go to Cash App. Find Cash App. There it is. Cash App. I got some Bitcoin. Come on, show me. Show me my money. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. I got $9.09 worth of Bitcoin. Which is, hold on. Tens, hundreds. I need something to point at this with, because these numbers are small. Tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. I have 1/10,000th of a Bitcoin. It's worth $9.09. Shoot, why the stock market down? I'ma buy me some more Bitcoin. I got $28 in my Cash App. I'm buying $28 worth of Bitcoin. It's gonna go up while y'all complaining about Donald Trump. Stop it. Daryl say to make a killing in the stock market, you have to buy at least 1,000 shares at minimum on a stock. What do you mean? I was right. It's tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 100,000, 10,000, no, 10,000ths. And that's what I was at, 10,000ths. Don't be challenging my math, Jerika. Be challenging my math. No, it wasn't even Shaba Zulu. It wasn't Shaba Zulu, Daryl. Little baby ain't building nothing. She was on the what is that? The elliptical. She was on the elliptical. All right, y'all. I'm about to have to get out of here. I know I talked about a whole lot of nothing today. Oh, Ken said they got a whole lot of nothing. It was popped up. I talked about a whole lot of nothing today. But look, yeah, I'm sorry, Janice. I be saying this all the time. But look, people, don't stop talking. Don't stop sharing information with people, even dense people like me. You know what I'm saying? We pick up on ideas. We might not have all the information, but we pick up on ideas too. Don't let people bully y'all into not talking about the stuff that's going on. Don't let that happen. Oh, and by the way, just another follow-up to I'm telling y'all, I truly believe Donald Trump is going to try to deport American citizens to El Salvador. I believe he's gonna do it. Was it yesterday where it was brought up to the press secretary? And she made it clear he's not joking about this. He's gonna follow the law, but he didn't say it as a joke. He's not joking about that, y'all. He suggested, even though they're trying to walk back the he suggested part. They're saying it as it was suggested by the president of El Salvador. No. He suggested, Trump suggested that we could deport American citizens to a jail, a prison in El Salvador. They went and had meetings about it. And the president of El Salvador agreed to it. They have an agreement. It ain't happened yet, but they have an agreement. You don't make that kind of agreement unless you intend on acting on it. They made that agreement at the same time they made the agreement to deport so-called illegal people. That we can send them to y'all. Yeah, y'all can send them to us. Bet. And we also send some American citizens. Yeah, y'all can send the American citizens. Okay, hold off on that. We get back to that. But we gonna do the first part first. We'll get back to you on the second part. We gotta massage them and make it sound good and get them used to people going to El Salvador, and then make it like, oh, we just gonna send the worst of the worst, and we think Americans will be okay with us sending people bopping old ladies upside the head. They won't care about that. So yeah, we can do that. Right, Jerica? They mistakenly deported a man to El Salvador because of his tattoo. And Mary, because Mary say prison must be overcrowded. See, Mary, I believe, number one, like one of the things that Donald Trump said is, well, they'll house them for less money than we're housing them for. Which I believe he'll get in, if they take it too far, all these private prisons, they won't go for it too much because you'll be dipping into their pocketbook. But if I send my prisoners over there, what standard of care do you have for them? We didn't have Salvadorian in jail. Is that good? Is that a good accent?
Kind of.
Okay.
I couldn't really hear it.
We'll just take my word for it. It was good. We don't have indie standards. That was terrible. That was terrible, little baby. Don't encourage me when I'm doing bad stuff. Yeah, don't encourage me when I'm doing bad stuff.
I said kind of, not all the way.
They don't care about standards over there. It might have been Nigeria. I don't know what that was. Vincent says the agreement was made long before it was approved. Oh, hold on, I hear a call coming in. Twin.
I knew it.
Hey, man.
How you doing, sir?
I'm all right, man.
You okay?
Yeah.
What's on your mind?
Oh, no. I was getting myself together. My bad.
What?
So I was getting myself together to talk to you.
You laying in the bed?
No. I just came from grocery shopping. About to cook me some fish and all that. Got to taste for some tilapia and all that.
Well, what's on your mind?
What's happening, man? You about to leave? I was listening to you as I was grocery shopping. I'm back at the crib now.
Yeah, I'm about
What's
to
up?
leave.
Huh?
I say yes, I'm about to leave.
You ain't about to leave and stuff. Twin on the action, man. Come on, you got a few minutes to hang out with me.
Well, what's on your
Man.
mind?
Hey, man, what's up with CK, man?
What you mean?
Man, this is a choice you make of being in the game, man. It's a choice you make. Ain't nobody put a gun to your head. Nobody tell you if you want to join this gang, shoot that rival gang or whatever.
Hold on,
Come on, man.
hold
It's
on.
a choice
Wait.
wait. Only one I see that's doing that, the MS-13 got boundaries on that.
Hold on, I have to turn him up a little bit. I can't hear you very well.
Oh, now you can't hear me, but you was turning your neck and all that early.
All right. Now, hold on. Let me ask you a question. You're telling me that in the history of gangs, no one's ever put a gun to somebody's head and forced them to join?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh.
I don't know. No, not in front of me or stories I heard. No, ain't nobody did nothing like that. If anything, they was robbing you.
I don't know, bro. I was watching Good Times, and they made Michael join
Man,
that
there
gang.
you go. You sound like CK watching that movie Colors.
I'm just telling you, they
he was
made
show taking
Michael
the same,
join
when
that
he was
gang.
talking. When he was talking, he was show saying the same things that was in Colors, man. I'm like, man, what is he talking about?
Well, hold on. Let me say, I agree that people are probably not forced to join a gang, on any sort of regular basis. But that doesn't mean that it's good to join gangs.
It's up to you, man. Ain't
Just
nobody
'cause
put a gun
it's
to
up
you
to
or
you to
force you
decide
to
whether
do.
or not to murder somebody. But if you do it, that don't mean it's good. Just saying it's
said
up to
what?
you. Don't justify it.
You decide to murder somebody.
Yeah, if you decide to murder somebody, ain't that up to you?
Yeah, it's up to
Right.
you.
So ain't it still good to say murdering people is not good, right?
You can say it's either or,
All
vice
right.
versa.
No, it's not good. There is no
Man.
either or in there. Murdering people is not good.
Okay, if I come in there and put a gun to your wife's head, then what?
That's
you
not
gotta
murder.
bang on you.
That's not murder.
What you call it then?
That's defense.
Ain't no damn defense.
If you got a
defend
gun
me.
to my wife's head and I had to kill you, that was defense.
And what you do after that, you murder me, right?
No, I defended my wife. I killed you, but I didn't murder you.
What if your wife did something to me? It caused her to get murdered.
Murder? Why are you trying to justify murder?
No, ain't no murder is a murder, man. Shit, ain't no damn. You can be on the defensive side, but it's certain situation on the defensive side.
I can't.
What are you talking?
Look.
No, man.
Bro.
I know what you talking about, player.
Murder is.
I know what you talking
murder
about.
is not
I know what
good.
you talking about. I know it's not good.
All right, so
But
why
hey,
is that so hard to
But
say?
if you defending your territory, then it's got to be good.
That's not. No, that's. Oh my God. Bro,
God ain't got
you
nothing
keep
to do
trying
with
to
this.
carve out exceptions to make murder okay. Murder is not good.
It depends on the situation.
It don't depend on the situation. If
Yeah,
it's
okay.
a murder, it's not good.
Okay, all things ain't good. But hey, it depends on the situation.
Oh my God.
The outcome of it. I don't care how you put it. If you come on my block and everything and you know you ain't supposed to be on here and we going against each other, hell yeah, I'm popping your ass. I'm defending my territory. There's boundaries between these. There's guidelines on this. Outlets, man. What are you talking about? I know it's not good in your eyes and to many eyes.
But you think
But
murder
if I'm
is good?
defending, what?
You think murder can be good?
No, I don't think it could be good, but it depends on the situation, though.
What depends on the situation? Hold on. Either murder is good or murder is not good.
It's not good.
All right, then. Just leave it at that. You don't have to. Oh, what it depends.
Why are you raising your voice, though?
It don't depend.
I'm talking to you.
Because you're frustrating me. Because
No,
this
you
is
frustrating
the
yourself. You
simple
take off
stuff.
that loose neck ass shirt, you'll be all right.
I thought the
That's what I'm
shirt
trying
was
to
too
say.
tight. Now it's too loose. That don't even make sense. But there is no, it's wrong. Like you're frustrating me because you being intentionally
Because
hard-headed.
you know why I do that. You know why I do it. It's called the big payback. Because you always try to hype the crowd up and everything else, mislead people and give people all anger management and everything.
Misleading?
Man, that crazy stuff. I'll think the terrorist this. I'll think the terrorist this. Man, let them people do whatever they want to do.
How is me sharing my thoughts misleading people? Especially when I start off sharing my thoughts with, these are just my thoughts and I don't have any facts to back them up. That's not misleading
Because
people.
you don't know.
Thus,
I
it's
listen
not
to you and everything,
Oh.
but you do. Even though you don't admit to it, you're in denial about it, but you do.
I do what?
You hype the crowd up.
Who?
Like the other people. You
Who?
do.
Who am I hyping?
Your crowd
How?
who listen to you.
Okay.
Slow down, man. Your blood
I will.
pressure. Man, I'm just messing with you.
My blood
man.
pressure's always been fine. I'm not.
What
that-
else on the menu, Emanuel?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Let me stop playing, man. But no, what CK was talking about, man, no, you don't. It's up to you to make that choice to join the gang. You don't like put a bullet to you. The things he was saying and what he was saying was off the face off of colors or something, man. When I was listening to him, I'm like, what? It's up to you to, like put a gun to your head to join no gang. It's up to you, Emmanuel. I didn't tell you to go rob that bank. You wanted to support your habits, whatever you like robbing banks. You're a robber.
Hold on. So you're telling me, and I'm asking, this is a question. You're telling me that nobody in the gang structure instructs anyone else to do anything.
I didn't say all that.
But you said ain't nobody told you to go rob that man. You made that
No,
decision.
he was putting it as to join a gang. You gotta go kill somebody and all that. That's how he was putting it. I'm assuming that's how he was putting it.
He did say that, and I
Yeah,
challenged him. on that.
and I said, don't nobody. Well, no, ain't nobody. Guys, ain't never did nothing like that.
Right, but then
to
you
get
also
initiated
followed that
about
up
that.
with, ain't nobody told nobody to go rob nobody.
That's a different category, man.
Well,
A
you
different
said
stance.
it. I didn't say it. You said it.
I'm talking about what he said. I know what you're saying, but he keeps saying, this is third or fourth time saying that.
It is.
Maybe fifth time saying, oh, to join the gang, you got to go kill that person and that person get initiated. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that, man. That's what I'm screaming about.
I tend to think that there might be some situations where that might.
Now, I heard stories about the MS-13, yeah.
Well, that's
They ruthless, man.
okay.
They
That's a gang. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When you say stuff like, "Oh, ain't nobody gotta kill nobody to
No,
join no gang,"
But he mentioned the BDGs and all that. That's what he mentioned. I'm like, no.
okay.
And he said the Crips, no. Different gangs do something, but when you talk about a certain gang, then I gotta, defend that, man. Be on the defensive side of
Why
that.
do you have to defend the gangs? Why?
I'm saying the organization I ran bad, nigga. What are you talking
But
about?
that don't mean you got to defend them. Just let it be, bro. You don't
Man.
have to defend it. It's wrong. It's bad. You don't
Ain't
have
shit
to
right.
defend it.
Everything ain't right and wrong. I mean, everything, man. There's a right, there's a wrong side. Ain't nothing perfect around here. If it was a perfect situation, everything would be Gucci out here. Shit, perfect out here unless you make it perfect for yourself.
Ain't nobody said
Come
nothing
on,
about
man.
nothing. Ain't nobody said nothing about nothing being perfect. We talking about the fact that you defending people who conducts their lives in a manner where it makes people's neighborhoods unsafe and almost unlivable. And
First of all, who told you it was a gang?
you,
No, let me get this clear. Who told you it was a gang?
you
No, I did.
didn't say you was a part of a gang.
No, I did.
Yes, you.
Anything, man, stop playing. Anything outside, I say organization. Ain't no damn, I ain't say
Bro,
nothing.
you done used the
Who-
word gang about 5 times on this call today so far.
Organization, man.
Oh, now we just
You
changing
said
the
gang.
word.
You said gang
No,
twice.
you said
I
gang.
said organization.
No, you said gang.
No, I said
Yeah.
organization. If I did, my bad.
Oh.
It's organization, man. The other people, whatever, the MS-13s and the Bloods and Crips, they probably label themselves as a gang. But I was on an organization. I wasn't on no damn gang.
Okay, so then
J. Edgar
why?
Hoover
wait,
labeled it as a gang. He labeled it and tricked y'all niggas, and y'all fell for it.
What?
He told y'all we was in damn gang.
Who told
Who
us
went
that?
on? J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI director, who started this. Him and Nixon said that.
Hold on. I've heard a number of gang members call themselves gang
No.
members.
You got a message, man. I believe you do. You probably do. I'm gonna send you something. The leader of the organization's third right hand man that started, Ike Taylor.
No,
I'm gonna send
no,
you.
Hold on.
No, I'm gonna send you.
Hold
No,
on, but
you gonna hear
that's
from
it.
the horse's mouth.
You don't have. I mean, you can send it, but what I'm
I'm
trying
gonna
to tell
send
you
it
is,
so I'm gonna educate your ass on, so you gonna know coming from the horse's mouth it wasn't no damn game.
they
This
are
is coming
gangs.
from the man.
So-
they ain't
so,
gone with
wait,
that.
so you're
it's coming
telling
from a
me-
leader
hold
under
on,
an organization,
twin,
man,
twin.
that started the law and principle and books of the code of the gangster disciples. Stop.
Twin.
I'm
Twin.
What,
So you're
Emmanuel?
telling me that if a person says they're a part of a gang, they're lying.
man. I don't care what they say. I wasn't part of no damn gang.
I
I'm part
didn't
of an
say
organization.
you, even though you said you were, but I didn't say you. I said if a person says they're a
That's
part
on
of a
them.
gang,
That's coming out their mouth, Emmanuel.
but you're saying it ain't no gangs.
It's not. It's. I mean,
So if a
different people.
person says they're a part of a gang, they're lying.
Wyatt. I mean, Emmanuel, stop.
I'm asking a
different.
simple question. If a person says, yeah, I'm a
I
part of a
can't
gang,
answer for nobody else. I
you're
can answer
saying
for only twin.
they're lying.
I only can answer for twin,
Right.
Emmanuel.
So
I can't answer
you
for
can
nobody
say
else.
you don't believe that they're
We gonna
gangs.
nip it in the bud, man. When I
You
see
don't-
this,
you don't
then
believe
you go,
that they're
you go
gangs,
thank
even
me
though
later.
you know that
you go
there
thank
are.
me later. You go thank me later to be quiet about the situation.
Why
It's
would I-
coming from the horse's mouth,
Why would I thank you for that?
and he put the law in effect on the gangs and codes. So I'm gonna send it to you, and then
Oh, he
you
put
just like,
the law
oh,
in effect on the what?
the gangster disciples, man.
The what disciples?
Gangster disciples.
Oh, sound like a gang to me.
It's an organization, man. I keep telling you, man.
You just
Stop
called it a
playing-
gang.
Be real for a minute,
I'm being
man.
real. Twin, you just called it a gang.
Gangster disciple.
No, before you said that, which is the reason why I had
switched
you
it over
repeat
to
it,
growth
you
development.
said he put the rules down on the gangs. You said that.
I said the organization,
No,
man.
you didn't. You
Lord have
just
mercy.
finished
Hey,
saying Larry Hoover, he
Claire.
the one who put the rules down on the gangs. You said
no, I
that.
didn't. I said Ike Taylor. I said it's three people that started it: David Boxdale, Larry Hoover, and Ike Taylor. And Ike Taylor original one that put the laws and principles and codes of the gangster disciples. Switch it to growth and development. They changed the name, man, in the 80s.
You
Come
called
on,
it a
man.
game. You called it a game. Now you're playing semantics, which is fine. But
It's not playing. No, you just can't catch up because you don't know. Like you say, you don't know. You don't know. Y'all speak about something that y'all don't even know about.
I don't have
Before
to know
you speak
about it.
Oh, no,
It's-
you don't.
That's
That's
right. I
my
don't.
whole point.
What I'm telling you,
Man, face the
is
fact you don't
I
know
will
about the
not
situation.
sit
Y'all
back
speak
and
about this shit and y'all let them
pretend
Yankees
like
run
that's
off with it.
good or like that's something that I would encourage young
No.
people to do.
Encourage people to do what?
I would not encourage young people to join your organization.
Okay, I wouldn't never encourage them to join in either.
Then what are we
But you
talking
got to-
about? That's all I said.
I said when CK put up there, you got to do this and all that to join the game. And I said, you don't got to do that. What is he talking about? He been watching too much colors. That's what I said. That's what I was speaking about.
And you can't say, because if you ain't never been in, you ever been a Crip?
Man, stop playing with me, man. Hell no.
Right,
Stop
so
playing.
you can't say what they do to make people join their gang.
What did I just say? What part you didn't understand?
So-
I can't speak about nobody else's
Right,
organization
so how
or
are
a
you
gang
mad
or whatever they
so why are
affiliate
you mad at
themselves with.
CK
What?
for saying something just because it
Because
don't
he-
apply to your gang?
because you
don't
didn't
mean
catch
that
what
it
he
don't
said,
apply to
though.
the other ones.
Nigga, you didn't catch what he said. He said GD's BD's. I'm like, he don't know what he's talking about. You got to do. He said this a couple of weeks ago, a month or two. Oh, you got to go there and you got to shoot this person. Them GDs and stuff, and F them. And I checked him about it. I'm like, man, you can't say that, man. It's disrespectful. This was last year, Emanuel, when he was saying this. This is 4th, 5th time saying that. You can't speak about something today because you've been there or whatever you so-called assume. You can't speak about it, man.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You can't
So-
go to the joint. If he ain't, he say, she say, going off what people. But if you ain't ever been around that meeting and everything, really know about it and everything, you can't speak about that shit. Because if you go to the joint, they gonna say, "What you mean?"
Twin.
You go get chin checked about the situation, man.
Twin.
What, man?
I'm trying to let you be right. Okay.
You ain't gotta let me be right. We both got opinions. I still like you at the end of the day, man. We just going back and forth. You don't agree, I don't agree. Let it be. The microwave's still open for you to pop your popcorn.
I have no idea what that means. But the fact of the matter is, you're saying.
Man, you pop your popcorn, you mean you go still talk your smack, man. Come
Okay.
on.
You're saying that what Twin said is incorrect. So just say what he said.
What Twin said is incorrect. You mean
I
CK?
mean, what CK. What CK
Get your mind
said,
right.
What CK said is incorrect for your gang.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I can't speak for no other gang because I
Right.
don't know. I mean, I might probably know the leader and all that who started, but other than you can't speak about what the Gangster Disciple and Black Disciples did.
I'll
You
give
can't
you that.
speak because you don't know.
Okay. He don't know. He's
Okay.
never been a part of your gang. So
No,
he
this
can't-
was his 3rd, 4th time saying that.
right. So he can't say
and
what
then
your gang
Emmanuel,
does and don't do.
Emmanuel,
Yeah.
it's up to you to join or whatever. Just like, Emmanuel, you ain't even got to join it. Just like Twin Gangster, man. And you're just a neutron. You go get it. You go get it. They go label you as affiliated with us because you know why? You're around me. We kin folks.
Okay.
So, oh yeah, Emmanuel part of GD, and you out there in the suburbs, and I'm in the hood, or whatever. They go label you as he a GD, and he won't even never know GD.
Okay.
All because you affiliate you kin folks and stuff.
Right.
That's how they, man. No,
You can be considered affiliated with the gang even if you're not a part of the gang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true, man. Cause I kid you not, man. A lot of like well-known basketball players and people like went to college, got their master and all that. Man, it wasn't even meant for them at the place at the wrong time. Man, got killed, man.
Killed by who?
The rich, just
Wow.
being out there, Emmanuel.
Oh.
Affiliated, cause that's your cuz. Oh, you
Affiliated
folks
with
now.
what?
If they feel like you affiliate with the members, with the guys and stuff.
With a member of what?
With the organization, man. They feel like you're a GD, you're a BD, you're a Stone, whatever. Oh, you related to him. and you ain't never been out there, but you just came over there to home visit or just check on cuz. They'll kill you, man. I've seen it happen. Man, he was the number one top seed going to the league, man. That should never happen. Shorty or she doing this and all that. Even females.
You know, can I tell you
Females
something?
out there reckless too.
Can I tell you something, twin?
What?
A lot of people criticize you, but I love
Man,
the
you
way.
criticize me. Man, you criticize me
get
all,
it
but
out?
you ain't never
Can I-
stepped in my shoe.
Can I
See,
get
man,
it
off
out?
this damn.
I'm trying to say something. Can I get it out? A lot of
Yeah,
people.
go ahead.
A lot of people criticize you, but
Man, I don't give a.
what? Can I get it out? A lot of people criticize you, but I love the way you keep it organizational.
All right, man.
All right, twin.
Man, so yeah, he said organization. Okay, man, what's your point, man?
That's it. That's the whole point.
Man, I'm dead. No, man, it says real recognize real, man.
Yeah.
You know, man, I'm just trying to school him, man. He keep on saying this, and I gotta catch him. No, I don't work like that, Charlie. Not with me, Joe. Not with me, man. Buddy, man, that's all I think I got to say, man.
All right.
And everything, man. You be blessed, man, on this good sunny day. I hear I have to go punch this clock, but, you know, it is what it is, man.
All right. Hey, man,
All
have
right,
a good
man.
one.
Always, man. Always. All right.
All right. That was twin. It's an organization. It's not. All right, y'all. I gotta get out of here. Somebody over there getting restless, making a whole lot of noise and stuff. So I got to get out of here. I want y'all to enjoy the rest of the day. I won't be on tomorrow.
Yay!
I won't be on tomorrow. Y'all know I got an event that I have to go to. So I want everybody to enjoy your weekend. And I think it's supposed to be decent weather tomorrow, but I think it's supposed to be rainy too, ain't it? It's supposed to rain tomorrow. Oh, just in this little bit of time, my Bitcoin done dropped. I was at $9.09 worth of Bitcoin just a few minutes ago. Now I got $9.07 worth of Bitcoin. Boy, these stock markets is going crazy out here. No, I'm not going to Lincoln's birthday tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to the thing. Y'all know I'm being honored by an organization, and the event is tomorrow evening. So, yeah, I'll be at that event being honored. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I started to tell them, like, no, don't honor me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not big on that. Hey, come on, give me a minute. Give me a minute, all right? Can you give me just, like, 3 minutes? No noise for about 3 minutes. I started to tell them, don't honor me, because I ain't into that. Like, I don't do the stuff that I do to be honored. But I thought about it, and I said, if somebody want to, basically if somebody want to say, hey, we see you, we appreciate you, let them say it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'll be honest, I don't know, and I got to call and ask them, am I expected to say something? Is this one of them honorings where I just get there and I say, thank you? Or do I have to say something? I don't know that I'm comfortable saying something. If I got to say something, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it. But I appreciate being appreciated. But I much prefer people just saying, hey, I appreciate you. And then I'll be like, thank you. And I'll be cool with that. So, yeah, I'm going to have to call Annie Ruth and ask her, like, am I supposed to give a speech or something? Well, I don't know. Brent?
Hey, what's going on, E-Man?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, it's going all right. First of all, I'd like to apologize to Lil Baby. Lil Baby, I'm sorry. But, had a meeting that I just got out of and wanted to chime in quickly if I could. First of all, Emmanuel and the Kingdom, that's what you're trying to call us?
Huh?
You saying that we are the Kingdom
Yes.
from yesterday. Yeah, see, that sounds too much like Kirk Franklin and the Family, so no. No, so we are. You got to try again, Take that under advisement and come up with a better name.
I'll give it some thought.
All right. And I got conflicts with a few folks. Not beefs, but conflicts. And if I was CK, I would sing, a little bit of Jeff Hollister, One Woman Man. That's why I can't have beefs with anybody else. But I don't have that confidence in my singing. But I got conflicts with your niece, Chelsea.
Oh.
And partially with you.
Oh.
Because she said she had never seen Jungle Fever and didn't get the Gator dancing reference.
I've never seen Jungle Fever either.
Okay, see, that's why I have the problem with you. Because that's some insufficient parenting and uncling from you. Both of you need to commit to sitting down and watching Jungle Fever. It is both sad and hilarious and sad again.
I've seen little pieces of it here and there, but I've never sat down and watched the movie. It ain't Halle Berry in that?
Halle Berry is in it, and I'm surprised. Well, have you at least heard the soundtrack? Because it's by your favorite artist, Stevie Wonder.
I've heard the song Jungle Fever. I might have heard another song or two off of that, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, but he did the entire soundtrack, and it is a Spike Lee joint, so it's a little bit long, and you got the classic scene where the person is still, but the background moves, but I tell you, was Samuel Jackson and Halle Berry, they played some crackheads. And they played it, oh my goodness. It was something else. And then, of course, it had Ozzie Davidson and Ruby Dee, husband and wife, great actors. So it's a good movie. It is a good movie. Let's see. So that's the one conflict I have. The other is with Auntie Janice. I got conflict with Auntie Janice, your favorite commenter, because she made you that hat. But the other day on the Friends page, I had posted a parody. Some guy did a parody of the Erykah Badu Tyrone song.
Uh-huh.
But it was coming from the perspective of the dude being upset with a woman for him having to pay for meals and clothes and everything for her 3 kids. So Janice said that, he knew what he was getting into. He's dumb, He knew she had them 3 kids. So then I asked him, like, okay, so is the lady who was dealing with Erykah Badu, or the lady she was representing dealing with Tyrone's friend, is she dumb too? Because she knew that he didn't have no money and was always having to come out of her purse. Is she dumb too? And she wouldn't answer the question directly and went all around the world and then said, I don't remember the question. So I got conflict with Janice. Don't be so quick to call men dumb, and you can't see that maybe that lady dealing with Tyrone's friend. And what is the dude's name? We know Tyrone. Tyrone got put on blast, but we don't know the dude she was dealing with. So, but that's my conflict. Not really, but that's my conflict with Janice.
All right.
And no, we're not going to talk about that. And no, there will be no wrestling report today unless you bring up something about wrestling. So I should have started with that, so people would be at ease.
I tell you what I've been doing, Brent, lately. I've been watching a lot of the Jim Crockett production stuff from like 85, 86, 87.
Yep.
They were doing some interesting stuff for that time. Like, they can't do that stuff now. Just because, like you said the other day, they kind of trying some of that stuff in AEW, and it's so dated and played. But for the time, And especially when when they were in that little small studio,
Yeah.
that's still some good watching there, man.
Oh yeah, and to see the kids there having so much fun in the audience, and they were into it, especially when the good guy hits the ring, and they start whooping tail,
Yeah.
left and right, and even with the commentators, they looking back at it, I'm like, they really weren't calling moves or nothing like that, but they were so excited and into it too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But
Some
that's
good
when they
stuff.
had to talk you into the. Can you imagine? They're going to all these little small towns and arenas and everything, and they're only, the tickets are like $5 and $10, so they can't be getting paid much. The wrestlers themselves, and having to do all that driving and everything. So, but it is fun going back and watching those old segments, and I even had to send a couple to my sons and like, look at this segment.
Yeah, I
and
hadn't
see
thought
what they're doing.
about the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez, and I don't know how long, and he popped
Yeah.
up, and I was like, Manny Fernandez. So yeah.
Yeah, and his finisher. Did he have the flying? Yeah, he had the flying burrito. Was his finisher?
Was
But
it?
yeah, certain. Yeah, they called it the flying burrito, which all it was pretty much he would throw you into the ropes and he would do like a half circle and hit you in the head with double forearms, and they called it the flying burrito.
Yeah, I'm watching him tag with Hector Guerrero. I'm in that era.
Okay, so he's still a face then. So
Yeah,
he went back and forth a few different times.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the tariffs and everything, we can hit on that some other time. Because little baby wants to have some fun, and
Yes,
she deserves to have fun, especially when she texted you from us. Did she ever find that Kleenex?
No, she didn't, but she did blow her nose, so she stopped all that daggone sniffling.
All right, but yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
Yeah, so hopefully we can put that. The conflict is squashed, Auntie Janice. Squish, I don't know, but you got to watch the video first, then we can officially, squash that conflict too.
All right.
All right,
Brent,
take it easy.
I appreciate your call. Have a great
All right.
weekend.
Bye.
All right. Y'all, I'm about to get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Get out of here. We got another week? Another week before Kings Island open. Even though I think I got something to do on the 19th. So we might not be able to go, but we'll see what happens.
Now I'm sad. You made me sad.
No, I think you'll recover.
No, you made me sad.
No. I got a cookie up there for you to make you happy.
Okay. But I don't want it. I don't want the cookie that you ate yesterday.
Well, that's the cookie I got.
No, I don't like those cookies.
Yeah, you're out of luck. I don't know what to tell you. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. And as always, as you're out and about this weekend. Oh, and I know some of y'all going to the little, I don't mean to diminish it, to the thing, the party, the day party. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Keep your eye on your drink. And as always, be the reason that somebody smiles.
Bye.
Till next time, I'm out, y'all.
Bye.
Peace.